Hey, you guys, welcome. I wanted to do a video kind of talking about some of the energies that's going on right now. I'm just going to kind of chat, tell you what's going on. I wanted to do this video yesterday, I think. It's been a week. Um, so we're just going to get right into it. You see my little stream. I do a lot of this is I'm giving you the energy update of what's going on for November. I will continue to do this on my Patreon. So if you sign up for that feature, if you sign up for that, but part of the community, you'll be getting these every month. I'm doing this one as like, hey, I'm doing this for free this month. Next month, if you want to join me, and there's tons of child guidance I'm putting there and posts and everything else, join me there. So this month's a freebie to be like, this is what's going on, and I'm going to keep doing these. So, you know, about the 30th, Mars moved into retrograde. It's brought up a lot of anger and a lot of things with a few people. I mean, especially my circle I've known and then out. So it's bringing up a lot of things, especially if Mars is anywhere in your chart in Gemini between 8 and like 25 degrees. You'll feel this. I have my Mars and my Mercury in Gemini and the 10th degree. And it's kind of about communication and stuff like that. And they work with each other. But, I don't really do astrology. I feel astrology. And my aunt has said, like, hey, like, send me over like her nebula, and was like, hey, like, read about this. So I started talking to spirit about this. And I don't know if you know somebody who's diving deeper into astrology more than this and like going intuitive astrology deep, tag them, because I'm curious to like see what they think about this. So we go through seasons in our life, right? You talk about going into your rising sign when you're moving into your 40s. Well, I believe you also have seasons in your whole astrology, especially in your whole astrology charts, in your planets, in your house, everything. You're saying, Tawnya, why does this help with November? I'm getting there. So majority of my people, that you guys, if you're following me and watching this, you are probably moving into a different season of your life out of your 20s. If anybody's watching me in 20s and you're learning this shit now, bravo to you. Maybe in their later 30s, moving, upward. You're moving into the season part of your life where big things in your 20s and 30s used to affect you. And it was very pronounced, like there, and it was very much in your chart, and it was it. Well, then we've moved into this season where we're getting a little older and a little wiser. So it's still meaningful, but take it a little further. My astrology talks about communication and communicating with others and having like this and busy with work and all this stuff. That was pretty big, and work as in because I had my kids young. I worked, there in the house and everything else. That was huge in that chunk of my life. Well, now I'm in here where I'm really the communication part and work is, it was like striving. That's what was in my chart. Like go, go, go. Work comes first, where it's like, which is funny because if you like, I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, okay, but this is like, what about communication with self? What about instead of demanding and forcing the job to, or my job or whatever to go this way and the way I want, what about like relaxing into it and letting it kind of flow? So I feel like the best way to describe is taking like the harsh edges, and when we move into the season, the harsh edges kind of flow away. And I have another example. So another friend of mine, hers was all about friendship and relationships and being like, she can make friends with everybody. She has a younger vibe. And I said, that was pretty relative in your 20s and 30s. Now it's more having more authentic relationships as she's in the season part of her life. And I'm like, how about a reflection? How about a relationship with you? Because your relationship you have with yourself is a reflection of how you have relationships with other people. So this was her chart I was reading and giving it back to her. So I encourage you to maybe dig a little deeper if you're in this season part of your life. So leads me to my next point. We talk about astrology. And they say, oh, this is happening, and we have these waves that come in. So I'm upstairs, I'm not in my space, but the chakra chart, that I have, and we're talking about the root and the sacral and all that. So the root is red, and it's the vibration kind of goes like this, if you've ever seen the waves. And then when you hit like the crown, it's like very different wave. So if you've watched my videos for any long period of time, you've known that I have talked about this. That astrology comes in, they show me like the planet. And astrology, comes in and affects kind of every, people differently and everything, depending on where you're at, blah, blah, blah. Well, then sometimes there's some energy that comes in that brings me back to my last video that I did in the 1st of October of an energy that's coming in November. And it felt like the astrology energy is kind of like red and orange is going to kind of come in, affect some, kind of up and down, everybody, kind of like this. But the energy that's coming in mid-November is very high vibration. And you want to talk the third eye or the crown. So it comes in and everybody's going to be affected. This is why I talked about this in the 1st of October on how important it is to work on your healing, because the shift that's coming is going to be pretty intense. So when the energies affect us, I don't want to say it trumped the astrology, but it's like divine has its own plan. And when they come and decide to blast energy, I that's when I get a lot of intuitive, like anybody who is like clicked in with their feelings, their emotions, really intuitive, really sensitive, my empaths, that's when they really reach out and are like, what's going on? I'm like, did you watch any of my videos? I've been talking about this. So it's coming, and it's coming in November. And that's why we're kind of shredding, peeling back those layers and those things that really those things that don't really serve us and we don't want to move forward in. What else did you want to talk about? Those were like the two highlights. Spirit saying, like, let's trust ourselves with the process of the shredding, the letting go, the going within, the process, the season of life right now. I got so much going on in my belly right now. Let's talk about that. And when you are trusting yourself and things come up, I talk about this in my yoga classes. I want you to settle in to your belly, settle in to the space. And ask, like, what's going on? What is this? What is coming up? What am I feeling? And then you just wait. It could be an image of a person, a situation, something that comes up in your head. It could be a thought. It could be a sensation. You wait for that. And that's the part of trusting what you're getting. And then you need to ask yourself, how is this benefiting me by continuously holding on to this? Literally asking yourself, is this serving me, and why am I still holding on to it? Then wait for the next emotion or the next vision or idea. And this is how you really start unraveling stuck emotions that are in your body. It's a process. And we still have a couple weeks of processing. So allow grace to come in. Allow things to move out of you. You don't have to stir in the question of why, but when it's acknowledged, then you move it out. Okay, great. This isn't serving me. You're right, self. It's not serving me. I'm holding on to this because of ... And then do some physical movements. Go for a walk. Jump on a trampoline. Take a run. come to one of my yoga classes. So you got to identify where we're at. We're stuck. What's the cause? Allowing forgiveness and allow it to move out, and then do some physical movement to release it. This is part of healing, especially if you're doing it on your own, you don't have a mentor. Really addressing those key spots that where you're feeling stuck in your life. I think that's it. That was quick, like in a nutshell. I do these channeled messages. I'm going to do these forecast, I guess you want to say, of the energies for the month. I'm doing this on Patreon. I'm trying to build this community where we can have conversations. We can have talks and be like, hey, you know what? I'm really working on this. What are you working on? I want to build a community here where we can lean on each other. I've had this, like, if you guys watched Tommy and I's live the other day, was quick. We were doing some testing. We talked about building each other up and having a community. And that's what I'm looking forward to on my Patreon. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you if you made it through this whole video. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And all you have to do is go to Patreon and just put Tawnya Marie and I click up. So I love you, and have a great November, and I'll talk to you soon.